Okay, I'm gonna make some pasteles de yuca or yuca pasteles, and I have in here pork stew. I have I have two trays of pork stew, and I'm going to clean this with vinegar, and I'm going to seasoning. And if you don't want to use pork, you can use chicken, boneless chickens. Okay, so I'm going to clean, seasoning, and I'm gonna let you know what we're gonna do next. I had like 4 pounds of pork, like 2 pounds in each tray. So I have 4 pounds in total. And I'm gonna cut my meat now. So here I'm cutting my meat in small pieces. And I have a saucepan in there. And I already cleaned my meat and seasoning. I put some adobo. I put black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, basil, cumin, and I put some of the bay leaf, like 3 or 4 bay leaf. So I'm going to cook that in this saucepan. I'm going to add some achote oil. Achote oil is optional. If you don't have it or you don't want to add it, you just add a little bit of the oil, okay? So you're gonna add a little bit of the, that's for coloring. And I'm going to add some of my homemade sofrito. I'm gonna add some in there, and sofrito is like peppers, onions, cilantro, culantro, garlic, okay? Blend with olive oil. That's what it is. I'm going to saute this for like a minute or two. I'm gonna add my meat. You can add some green olive. You can add some ham chopped up in 3 pieces. An envelope of sazón con culantro y achote also. And if you don't want to use that, you can use paprika instead. I'm going to add a can of tomato sauce. I'm going to mix everything. I have my heat in medium high, okay, right now. And I'm going to add 2 cups of water. I'm going to stir this real good. And I'm going to bring this to a boil. And then when it brings to a boil, I'm going to lower the heat to medium, and I'm going to cook this for 30 to 45 minutes or until the meat is cooked, okay? And always taste it for salt after it's cooked. Okay, my meat is ready. So I cook it for 30 minutes exactly. And now I'm going to cook the yuca. You can use a knife to cook the yuca, and I have line, let me see, in here. Got one big one, two, another one, 3, 4. I have 4 yucas in total, or cassava. I'm gonna cut this and I'm going to peel this. You can use the knife like I say, or a potato peeler. I'm using a potato peeler, for me it's easier. And when you see like a purple skin, you're gonna remove that too. Now I'm going to cut my yuca in small pieces, or you can leave it just like that. If you, well, I'm going to use the food processor, but if you don't want to use the food processor, you can use the grater and the smaller part, okay? But I'm going to cut mine in small pieces, so you can leave it like that and put it in the food processor. Here is my yuca. That's what I have for 4 yucas. Then here is my meat. And I add some garbanzo to my meat, and the garbanzo is optional. If you don't want to add it, you don't have to add them. You can add pimento, whatever you want to add to that meat. So I have my banana leaf, and this come frozen. You can find that at the Latino supermarket or any Latino store. And I cut mine in pieces like that. I'm also going to use the paper for pasteles, envelopes of sazón con culantro y achiote, and I have my achiote oil, which I made that, and I have a video on how to make homemade achiote oil. I have a evaporated milk, or you can use whole milk, and we're not going to use the whole can. We're going to use just a little bit. Okay. I have the strings, and you can find that also at the Latino or any Hispano Latino supermarket. Okay, you just ask for strings for pasteles, so they're gonna know what I'm talking about. Salt to taste, and my food processor. I'm gonna add my yuca, and I'm gonna put too much. I'm just gonna add it little by little. Okay, put it in there. I'm gonna shred it. I'm gonna let them like probably 5 to 7 minutes, because we want that real smooth. That's what we're looking for. Okay, for a smooth dough. So whatever reminder of the yuca around the edges, you're just gonna grab a spoon and you're gonna just take it. So let's shred this. Here's has some of my yuca. Feel it and still feel a little bit, can need to be so I'm gonna add a little bit of milk, salt, and the salt is to your taste, and my achiote oil. And the achiote oil is just for color. So I'm gonna add more salt. Now I'm gonna add an envelope of sazón con culantro de achiote. And I have an empty bowl in here because I'm gonna shred that and I'm gonna put it in that bowl. Okay, and a little bit more of the achiote oil. Here is my or some of the yuca, okay, and then I'm gonna add the rest, and I'm gonna finish grinding the yuca, okay. More salt. It looks like it's a lot of salt, but it's not. Believe me. And more of the achiote oil. Now I'm gonna add some of the juice, not the meat, just the juice. I'm gonna add like probably 2 to 3 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons, and probably one in here, or one in here, not probably, yes, one in there in the mix. And then we're gonna mix that real well. I'm gonna let them mix. So here I have my yuca. I put it in the strainer, okay? Because I have a lot of the water, but I'm going to add an envelope of sazon, more color, okay? And I'm going make sure you stir that, you know, that way everything is even in color. So, and I'm gonna add more salt. Oh my God, no more salt, no. Gonna stir that, and here I have my yuca ready. So, and I have the paper for pasteles. I'm going to grab one of the banana leaf. Gonna put some achiote oil. Make sure you cover the whole leaf, okay? Because if not, your dough is gonna stick in the leaf. So we're gonna I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons because I'm using the small, you know, the small spoon. So I'm gonna add two. If you're using a big one, the spoon like you cook the rice, and then you're gonna use one, of course. And then the meat, whatever amount you want to put in there. So then don't be stingy with the meat. Now it's time to fold it. So look carefully. Gonna put it in there. Okay. And then you're gonna start folding the edges like that. Okay. Then when you fold it and fold it, and you have one pastel in here. Okay. Gonna put it by the side. We're gonna make another one. So look carefully. You grab your paper, so you put it in a long way, or you can find your own way to do it. Okay. You're gonna grab a banana leaf, put it in the center, grab some oil, cover your leaf with oil, just the leaf, and then put your masa or your dough in there. We call them masa. So you spread it, and now you're gonna put your meat with a little bit of the juice. And then you're gonna fold it. So watch what I do in here. And you can use your own way to do it too. So just push it towards you, fold it, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, bring it towards you. Now the corners, squeeze them, and you're gonna fold it, and you're gonna do the same thing with the other side. I'm going to put 2 pasteles together. That's the way I made it. I do it. So I'm going to put 2 pasteles. Here you have 2. And then we're going to wrap it up with the string. Okay. You're going to have a good amount of string. And then you're going to put it double. That's the way I do it. So put double. Put it on top like this. And then get your 2 corner, and you're going to pass it through the hole, and then you have to tie it up enough. Okay, so make sure it's tight because you're going to boil that in water, and you don't want them to open when you cook it in the water. So make sure you tie it not too tight. You don't want them to release all the masa, but has to be tight. Okay, here. And then you're going to cut the sticks of the string. So here you have the pasteles. You can cook that right away, or if you don't want to cook it right away, you can put it in plastic Ziploc bags and put it in your freezer and save it for later. Now I have water boiling. I'm going to boil some water, and I'm going to add some salt, and then I'm going to cook my pasteles. I'm going to let my pasteles in the water from 45 to 1 hour, okay? And you have to keep an eye on the water not to evaporate. If you see the water evaporate, you're going to add more water, okay? I'm going to cook it for 45 to 1 hour. And my pasteles are done. Here how it looks. And we're going to enjoy this. Beautiful color, beautiful texture. So thank you. Bye.